Well, what's going on, guys? Game9. In today's video, we're going to be talking about how to get better performance in FS 2020. I got my desktop right here, and I want to be specifically honest with you guys today. This is just an experimental test, so by any means, I'm going to be telling what I have in my computer that I'm running right now is that I'm running a Ryzen 9 3950X, a 128 gigs of RAM, an RTX 2080 Ti, and a 1 terabyte M.2. In today's video, we are going to explain a little bit of my little bit of a setup today to try to give you guys probably the best performance if you're running this setup. And I'm only going to be specifically honest with you guys today is that this could help you in many ways as much as possible, and it helped me. And if you're only running a single core on a 16 core thread processor, this might help, though if you don't want to overclock or unclock your CPU. So let's explain some things today in FS 2020. So the first thing you want to do today is that you simply want to get into the settings. I'm going to leave the link into the tutorial of the video where I learned to help me in FS 2020. So basically what you want to do is that you want to get here, which is the admin PowerShell, and I'll leave a link into the video for you guys so you guys can check it out. This kind of helped me fix a lot of the problems that was going on in FS 2020. I'll leave a link in the below to the video that I found to help me, and you guys can follow the steps from the following video. It's not my video, but it is a video from a different content creator that deals with kind of background applications that could possibly boost up your frame rate for FS 2020. The problem I have with it with a single core processor is that I had to close a lot of the back applications off of FS 2020, especially because if you have any background applications, you want to make sure that in OS, which I'll leave a link in the below to that following video so you guys can check it out. It's not my video, it's from a different content creator, but I thought it was kind of helpful for FS 2020. So today we're going to go ahead and we're going to go into Flight Sim. I've been doing testing in this game for a while now. I've been having some problems with, well, a lot of people have been having problems with load times. I really didn't have much of an issue with a load time, though it's more how much applications you have running, you know, in the background, and it depends on where you're going. So sometimes it takes a little while to boot up and stuff like that. So it's gonna take a little second to boot up here, even on an M.2, which is kind of odd. Let's see if it boots up. They're gonna plug in our controller. The only problem that people have been having is their controllers, or specifically the game crashing on their controllers. I had it maybe once in this game, so you know you could encounter that. And we're just gonna see how this is. I'm gonna open up Afterburners, which we'll do in a second. Give me a second to load the game in. Once we do that, we'll open, and once we get into the main menu, we'll open up the game, and I'm going to show you guys my settings on what I do to get a higher performance, and you know, just to see if you can get it, you know, on a certain level, because everybody's completely different in FS 2020. Everybody runs different specs, and everybody's computers are completely different in terms of performance. But like I said, if you follow that guide on the YouTuber I found, you'll actually find something very helpful for the game. It's more about how much applications are running in the background if you're running a single core and not all 16 cores on the R9 3950X. So we'll see in a second. Like I said, check out that link in the below. It helped me a lot because I was wondering the question why my CPU was getting so hot. So I am running an IO cooler, so I am using using liquid cooling and not air, of course. So we're gonna load into the game, and then hopefully we can go ahead and do this. So we're in the game now. I'm gonna go back out of the game, and I'm gonna open up Afterburners today. And we're gonna put that down, and we're gonna press, I think 8. Is it 8 display or 9? I think it's 8. Let's go into our Afterburner settings today. Moderating. So our on display is 9. Okay. So as you can see, we're at 177 FPS. That's in the menu. Now the question is, if you go to options here, go to general. I got VSync off. Everybody says turn off VSync, which I got off. I'm running on 1080 1920 by 1080 p 144 hertz, of course. I got it on TDAA, I got 100. I got clouds on high. Buildings are on medium. Everything is on medium. Terrain shadows are on 1024. Map shadows are on 1536. So bloom is on. So we have a pretty decent setting for that. What I have off here is photo 3D buildings, which I turned off. Bing online functionality, live weather multiplayer, and there you go. Flight model we have on FS, of course. FSX is good. It's just, it's just more of like a, you don't have to be the expert of all. It's just more of a casual experience. We got our Azure on, and we got all that there. Music's down. User interface. Graphics. So we have everything on a medium setting level to get the best possible performance that you can get on the CPU and GPU. Now the problem I was having with my computer was more of the more of the other problems. Pretty much it was the heating problem that I was having. So I was having a lot of problems with heat with this game. So what we're gonna do is that we're gonna spawn in Michigan. That's where I live, in Michigan, of course. Everybody knows that on this channel. And you know what? To test this theory, let's just go to Detroit. Right. Let's see, which is Detroit's it's a 3D, world, 1-to-1, it's pretty intense. And we're just gonna spawn in there and see where our temperatures are if we get an LMI warning signal. This is probably the most intense area. I have not tried this yet. This is the first time benchmarking this test. For a lot of people that are wondering, my opinion would have to have this computer on ultimate performance mode. Now what that basically means, there's like all kinds of different performance modes in computers on Windows. You have your high performance, low performance, and your power settings, which I'll show in a second. And that's very important for this game. High ultimate performance would be like you have the best of the best. CPU, RAM, GPU would be your best bet. And you actually would type that in the admin command key, and that would actually unlock a lot of the stuff for single core performance. And this is only one CPU. We're gonna go on a fly. So we're not doing too bad. We're actually doing pretty good. We're doing actually really good for single core performance. That's one CPU. That is not utilizing all 16 core processors or all 16 cores. That's using one CPU at 70C. So we're doing 100 plus FPS Now close to 100, a little low in the 100 plus FPS in Detroit, Michigan. So we're gonna go ahead and get as low as possible. Now, Detroit is one of the places where it's extremely intense. This was a place that I had a lot of problems on in terms of CPU temperatures and freezing, of course. We got a little bit of stutter there. So, as long as my CPU is not getting, I don't know, hot on a single core performance and not utilizing all 16 cores, the benefit is going to be so much more better, and it's going to help a lot of things. So we're getting 100 plus FPS at 1920 by 1080p 60 FPS in this game. This is on medium settings and not high. So if you are running the specs that I'm running, I would highly recommend running this game at a medium setting level and not a high setting level. Now the question is, can we actually do this on a high setting to getting almost 100 FPS? Now a lot of people are, one of the question is that, you know, higher the FPS for his flight sim is pretty good, right? That's pretty good for what you're getting out of it. Now, I don't have no other type of build that can, you know, compare to this, like an Intel build, which my brother has an Intel build. But that's what we're having here today. We're at 70C, which is really good. I don't feel no heat. I don't have no problems. The reason for this, which we're going to pause our game here. And the real reason why you should do this, and I highly recommend everybody to do this, is that you want to go into your settings and you want to, let's see if I remember correctly. So you want to go to power settings, which is edit or choose power plan, I guess. So this is the power plan you want right here, okay? Now what this does is it provides an ultimate performance or higher end PC. So that would be considered of my computer being a higher end computer. This is what you want, is that you want your performance on ultimate performance. You do not want it on high performance, power saving, or balance. You do want it on high performance if you have the PC specs to run this to really on this high level, because we're on a higher end PC. If you have a $3,000 plus gaming rig, choose ultimate performance. I'll leave a link into the below to get into this, which you want to click here, and you want to get into your well, I should say your admin, your PowerShell admin, and then you want to go with that, and that basically will put your Windows into an ultimate performance mode, and then you want to turn off any types of BAP applications like let's say background applications, or just any type of applications, whatever's installed. I'll leave a couple of tutorials in below to help maybe your experience make it better to get this on a single core experience and not all 16 core utilization. So you want to have that on ultimate performance. Okay, highly recommend it for anybody that's using any type of computer. It doesn't matter if you're Intel or AMD or Ryzen or any Intel chips, because Intel and AMD have been having problems with this. So have that on ultimate performance. If your computer isn't, you know, high-end, you know, really expensive PC build, this might be only good for higher end, or you could try it on your stuff that, don't blame me if it doesn't work for you, but hopefully it works. I've seen some other YouTubers and other content creators post videos about it, but I do think it's because of the background applications that are having problems with this game right now, because it is a very CPU intense game. So, you know, right now our CPU is at 75C, which is good, better than 95C, which I've been having. So have this on ultimate performance mode. Always recommend that for a lot of people that are looking to really get into this game. So we're in Detroit, and we're getting about 100 FPS, which is really good. I would probably keep it at medium settings, which is fine. And it's not going to sacrifice a lot of your performance in a matter. I mean, 100 FPS is pretty good for what this on a single core CPU. You might see some temperatures in the 80s. If you can unlock your CPU with the Ryzen, go right ahead. I don't think that's going to hurt anything. But if you do see a big in performance, like, you know, 70 70 FPS. It depends on where you're going. I mean, this is Detroit, so it's pretty intensive on your computer. I know for a fact because I couldn't play no more than 35 minutes and the PC would get very hot on a single core performance. And we're almost getting 100 FPS in this game on medium settings. So just keep an eye on your temperatures. Download Afterburner. You don't have to overclock. You don't have to tweak anything. It's just a basic software settings. You don't need to download any extra software through AMD. It's pretty straightforward. Tell me in the below if this helps for you guys. And hopefully it can help for a lot of other people, because I do think that it does help for me. I'll keep doing some more testing for you guys for FS 2020, but that's my settings. Probably if you're not in so much of dense areas like Detroit or Chicago or other areas in the U.S. that are on a 1 scale level, you could see some 90 improvements. I've seen some YouTubers only do 60 FPS on low settings. So this is medium settings at 95. That's the performance I'm going to show you guys today. And we're getting about 70 some C on one CPU core and not on utilization on all 16 cores. I hope you guys enjoy this video. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to tell me if this was helpful. If not, well, put a like if you like it. If you dislike it, put a dislike. And maybe I could try to help you guys solve some mysteries in this game, because it is very CPU and GPU intensive. I think it's more of a CPU problem than a GPU problem for both Intel and AMD at the moment for CPUs. So if you do help, try that setting, help out. I'll leave a link in the below to that video so you guys can go ahead and check it out, and hopefully we can go ahead with the video, and hopefully I can go ahead and give you guys a better performance in this computer, or on this computer, or anybody else's computer that they're utilizing and getting at least 100 FPS or above 60 on medium settings. And plus it doesn't sacrifice anything. So 80 to C is decent than the 95C, but it's what it is. I hope you guys enjoy this video. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to put below, and hopefully I can catch you guys next time. This is Game 9 signing off. Peace out, guys.